Take the brightest and perhaps most adjustable glass in its class and bring it somewhere where brightness and adjustability is essential. We've come to the mountains of West Wales to WMS Firearms Training, where we're going to shoot some long distances with something new from Zeiss.
We've never done a long-range model rifle scope, particularly designed for long-range shooting. So for us with the Zeiss, this is the first long-range rifle scope that we have made. With the 18 times, there's 103 minutes of angle. So with the right rifle, right ammunition, with our scope, you're going to be able to get out to 1600 yards. With the 30 times, again, you're going to get out to that kind of distances quite easily. It comes with ASV, so it comes with top turrets and the windage as well, but no illumination. The V6 hunting model does come with an illumination. The recommended retailer price of about £1,600. There's nothing really on the market that can compete with our optic quality with the FL coated glass, 92% light transmission. So conditions like this are perfect to showcase that off.
Zeiss wants to show its V6 can cut the mustard, or at least dent the steel, at many hundreds of yards. There are some familiar faces around today. One of them is Paul Childerley having a chat with today's host and WMS firearms instructor, Andrew Venables.
What's the plan of today?
It's an interesting one. When they came to us with the V6 long range project, and we're thinking, okay, well, we've got to step things out in terms of range, but also the person buying the scope might want to use it for deer stalking as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a mix. We're going to initially just get people having a look at the scope, zooming in and out, playing around and shooting a couple of groups on some of the rifles at 100 metres.
Yeah, a bit confidence basically.
Yeah, straightforward confidence stuff. So we're going to go from the close range 100 metre bit in the shed to times 10.
Just straight out to the max.
Well, straight out. Well, why not? It's either going to work or it won't.
Yeah.
So we're going out to 1,000 metres. We'll be offering people prone shooting or shooting from the benches.
Yeah.
Which will be a thorough test of everything.
So what's going to be the main test of the scope? Obviously, elevation at distance. Do you think that's?
It's clarity of picture.
Yeah.
Obviously vital, because if you can't see it, you can't shoot at it.
Yeah.
It's the ability to zero and dial up and down.
Yeah.
Dependably and repeatably.
Right.
These scopes are in minutes of angle. If they're zeroed at 100, the scope's on 0. These have 2 to 3 turns in the turret, depending on how they're zeroed on which rifle. With some of the ammunition we've got at 1,000 metres or 1,100 yards, you're going to need 35 to 40 minutes of angle up. That's at least 2 turns of the turret.
Yeah.
A lot going on in the scope.
Yeah.
Can you go up? Well, then that's times 4, because it's quarter minute of angle.
Yeah.
So can you actually go up 240 clicks, come back down 240 clicks, and still be on 0 at 100? We believe, yes, absolutely, with the Zeiss product you will be able to.
Well, it's first time here for me, so I'm looking forward to shooting out to 1,000, because I've never done that before. Yeah. So I'll wait some instruction.
We'll wait to see the results. Go on, let's go and play.
After a quick safety briefing, the scopes, rifles and the guests warm up with cuppers and a few rounds down the range to the targets on the hillside. Zeiss wants to show the accuracy of the new V6 from a bench sitting position and standing using a set of sticks. The aim is to show the zoom, clarity and versatility of the scope in everything from hunting scenarios to those long-range mountain trips you may want to take. Oh, and to get used to shooting in the Welsh wind. Now it's time really to put the V6 and the shooters to the test. We climb higher up the mountain into the swirly 25-mile-an-hour gusts and try to shoot the 1,000-metre targets.
I think with this wind today it might make it a little bit more sort of difficult, but you just don't know. I mean, I'm not used to shooting stuff at the range we're about to do. It's most of my shooting is sort of pest control and deer stalking. So we don't really get to shoot anything much more than, I think the average is 100 metres, but maybe 150 at the most for myself. But to try and do this is quite testing at how you even start. But I think it's a fantastic location, and Mr. Venables that's looking after us, he's very experienced, and hopefully he can explain how we might go about it. I like Zeiss products. Coming out and doing this and actually practicing it in working process makes a big difference, especially when people come in and ask you advice over different bits and pieces. If you can say, yes, we've been there, done that, used it, like it or dislike it, then that's what you do. You know, it's very difficult trying to sell something you either don't know about or not really convinced, you know, it's going to do what it says. But these, you know, these items clearly do, you know.
It's a long way, very long way.
Shooting at that sort of thing?
Not a huge amount, no. I mean, there's seldom places around me that you can shoot safely at 1,000 metres. So yeah, it's nice to come up here and give it a go. So we'll see how we fare up, or don't.
We start with a few 308 rounds that make short work of the targets. The steel plates are too far even to see with the lenses on our cameras. It's time for Andrew to bring out his 338 for a test drive. He explains how much adjustment the V6 will need with the different setups.
We've got two rifles here. One's an ordinary stalking rifle. We've put one of these Zeiss V6 long-range scopes on. The other one is a serious long-range tactical rifle with a 20-minute of angle base rail on it. With the one which is designed for deer stalking, we can dial it up about 35 minutes of angle, which will get us out to 800-900 metres, and it's what we call flat on the rifle. With the tactical rifle, the scope's giving us a remarkable amount of elevation. This is the 5 to 30 power scope, and because it's zeroed at the bottom of the available range of elevation, when it's set on zero, which we have now, we can actually come up one full turn, 20 minutes of angle, two is 40 minutes of angle, three, 60 minutes of angle, and we still have almost another complete turn on the scope. 80 minutes of angle, I'm working out, will allow this rifle to shoot out to a mile with the 300 grain match ammunition we've got. So, to be fair, in a 1,600 pound scope that's got the long range thing and the German glass in it, that's pretty good, and we're going to try it out now, see how it works.
She only shot rimfire for today, so.
And you managed to hit its target as well?
Twice, yeah, which is probably more than me.
Goodbye to tea.
I was doing that anyway.
Fantastic.
You shot,
I
yeah.
enjoyed it actually.
So the new V6 has what it takes to be a versatile hunting and target scope. With an impressive 103 MOA adjustment, it will reach the parts where others will fall short. Along with the incredible tea-coated fluoride glass and that never-faltering Zeiss clear image, it has proved today that distance is nothing. OK, you won't be shooting a deer out to 1,000 yards, but for long-distance shooting, it's nice to know your scope can cope.